Hi kids, glad you could join me today. Today we're going to read The Last Stop on Market Street. It's a book written by Matt De La Pena and Christian Robinson. See, there's a picture of a bus on the front and a little boy and an older lady with him. Let's see who they are. CJ pushed through the church doors and skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dribbled down his nose. So they come out of church on Sunday, and they're coming out and see the umbrellas because it's raining outside. So everybody's got to go home or wherever they're going in the rain. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. So what do you think? There they are in the rain, and there's a big tree. What do you think she meant by drinking through a straw? See, trees, they're planted in the dirt. They suck up moisture through the trunk of the tree to get nourished. So that evidently is the straw she was talking about. I thought that was cute. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in and gave CJ a wave and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" See, there they are standing at the bus stop. There's the car with Colby in it and his father. And they're standing there waiting for the bus. Why don't we got a car? The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. It's very poetic because when a bus comes up, the brakes squeal and it comes to a stop and it kind of settles. The author is describing that pretty well. And see, now there's CJ getting on, and there's his Nana. And it looks like a dragon on the side of the bus. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear and placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. There's the bus driver, and see, he's got a coin in his hand that he just plucked from behind CJ's ear. Have you ever found coins behind your ear? They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure CJ did the same. There's all the people on the bus. There's the guy with the guitar, the lady with butterflies in a jar. And everybody is nice and friendly to each other. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go up here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side and watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. See, there they are on the bus. He's looking out the window. Nana is knitting. There's the lady with the butterflies in the jar, and this guy next to her with all the tattoos is looking at his phone, it appears. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world through their ears. Through their ears. That's interesting. That's a fact. Their noses too, the man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Well, there's the blind man and his dog. They've come onto the bus, and CJ gave him his seat so that he could sit down. But they're talking about people watching the world with their ears and their noses. See, because blind people, because they lose this sight, their hearing and their sense of smell become more acute. So they are aware of things around them more through the other senses because they've lost the one sense. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. See, there are the two boys. They've come on. And you see what he's holding in his hand? It's like a music machine, and they've got earphones that are plugged into their ears. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. See, there he is with his guitar all ready to go. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. So there they are, listening to the music with their eyes closed. Now, when you have your eyes closed and paying attention to the music, you're able to imagine all kinds of things. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus and out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. Oh, look at that. That's what he was imagining. See the different colors, the hawks, the butterflies. He's just sitting there engrossed in the music and imagining all these things through his mind. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. So, see, he finished playing and CJ tossed his coin that the bus driver had given him into the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. So there's this bus. It's number 5 Market. And they're getting off because this is where they're going. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. So see, they're in a dirty, decaying part of town with broken down things and graffiti on the walls and everything. But Nana sees things that are beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. And see, there's the rainbow. See, it just stopped raining, so here's the rainbow in the sky. which represented the beauty that Nana saw. He looked all around them again at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. Stray cat shadows. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, "I'm glad we came." So he sees people he knows, and he's glad to be able to see them. And see, they're getting in line, these people lined up in front of him to go into the soup kitchen. But with all that traveling in the rain and going into a dirty part of town, he spots familiar faces and says that he's glad that he came. I'm wondering, what was the lady's name that said somebody had a brand new hat? That's probably the lady that has the brand new hat. He thought his Nana might laugh, her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now, come on." Now, there's why they went to the soup kitchen. There's Nana serving soup and CJ beside her helping. They go down there every Sunday after church to feed the needy in the soup kitchen. Isn't that worth a long trip to the end of Market Street in the rain? That's a pretty nice story. And here are CJ and his Nana sitting at the bus stop waiting for their ride to go back home. There you go. It's a very thoughtful book. I'm glad we read that one. I hope you enjoyed it, as with all the other books that we've read, and I hope to bring another one to you very soon. Y'all have a wonderful day.